Welcome, online fam, to week 36, day 112 of our online learning. I hope you guys are doing well. You're probably wondering, his hair doesn't look that different. I was very, very busy today, or this week. Joking. Mostly, I just kind of chickened out. But I have the materials, and I'm not one to waste, so I'm going to do it. I promise. If I don't have my hair changed to the color I really want it by next week, everyone gets a prize. So keep guessing. Right now, I think only one person on their discussion question from last week guessed it correctly. So maybe we can get some more. Speaking of discussion questions, I want to give a shout out to a couple people on last week's discussion question. Well, number one, Callie Tyler out here doing great work like always. Keep it up, Callie. But I want you guys to take a look. You may have noticed that last week you could have a little bit of fun and record your answers to this question. Describe the stock market crash in 1929. Well, I have a couple individuals, and sorry, Spencer did a great job, and he sent me his, but for some reason I can't find it. He did an awesome job. He fell down the stairs. It was amazing, as if the prices were crashing down. But I want to show a couple people who, including Spencer, went above and beyond, and I just had a lot of fun recording their videos, and I really enjoyed watching them. So, enjoy. Here's Seth enjoying his nice day. Wakes up one morning, the stock market has crashed. Here we go, Diego. Stock market, piece of paper. I love it. Crash. Crash. That's A+ effort right there. And lastly, Roman. Making it rain. And then the stock market crashes. And he's in the corner. Guys. Girls. Guys. Everyone. Great job. I've been really enjoying reading some of your answers. I've been really enjoying seeing what you guys are taking from this online experience. So continue to do a great job. I really think that given the circumstances, you guys are doing quite well. So keep up the great work. What we're going to do today is we're going to intro the Dust Bowl. And the Dust Bowl it's very interesting because it happens in tandem with the stock market crashing. So it's kind of like you get two really horrific, rare things, super rare things happening around the same time, which really devastates the country. So we're going to go ahead and dig right in. I want to go through the causes, where it happened, when it happened, and the effects, as well as showing you a couple pictures. The first thing I want to do, though, is I want to go ahead and give you a little bit of a heads up. Your discussion question for today, or number 2, the Dust Bowl image analysis assignment, I'm going to give you a little fair warning. I have never attached an assignment like this. I'm doing my best searching, asking questions of colleagues, and a lot of us in the Texas History Department, we're not going to know if this worked well until the first person does it. I even checked student view, and if you look over here, from my teacher view, this is what I've attached, the Dust Bowl image assignment. And so the assignment says, choose the image you would like to analyze, delete the slides for the other images, and complete the last slides. So there's several different images, and what you're going to do is you're going to pick the one that you want to complete your assignment discussion question for, and then you're going to delete all of the other ones. It also says, and answer the questions on the last slide. So what I want you to do is go ahead and give me a heads up, give me a shout out if it's not working. I'm going to assume if I don't hear anything that you don't have access to this slide. I want to make sure you guys have what you need. So go ahead and let me know. The other thing I'd like to do is I'd like to give you some background information as much as I possibly can into why this happened, why it was worse than it could have necessarily been if some measures were taken, and how it impacted the country. So let's go ahead and get started. The causes of the Dust Bowl or extended drought. Okay, remember drought, we talked Q1 is when it does not rain for an extended period of time and it has a drastically negative impact on the surrounding ecosystems. Wildlife starts to get impacted, natural resources start to get impacted. We don't like droughts. Droughts are no bueno. The other thing is it was really hot, okay? It was really hot during that, unusually hot actually during kind of the years of the Dust Bowl. And there were also poor agricultural techniques, and I wrote, this is quality stuff, guys. I'm gonna make sure you guys can see this by going back here. All right, you can see. All right, so what this is this is my amazing chart of crop rotation practices and fallow fields. The first thing, we need to know what a fallow field is, okay? A fallow field is land that a farmer plows but does not cultivate for one or more seasons to allow the field to become more fertile again. Okay, the practice of leaving fields fallow dates back to ancient times when farmers realized that using soil over and over again depleted its nutrients. So, if we look here, poor agricultural practices. Remember, this is my amazing chart. Let's see if it's still there. Let's see if I haven't moved. Sorry. Oh, totally isn't. There. Okay, so you guys can see my software, streaming software for the time being. So what you see here is I've made a kind of a plot of land, okay? Crop rotation. C is for corn, B is for beans, and P is for what? No one? Just me? Corn, beans. What is P for? Peas. Just playing. So the fallow field is highlighted in yellow. And what happens is you're supposed to rotate where that fallow field is. Farmers don't want to farm in these locations every single season. Otherwise, the nutrients are all sucked up and your harvest is not as bountiful or plentiful. So the idea is every single season to rotate which field is staying fallow and not being used. Make sense? Corn, beans, peas, pork, whatever, except pork doesn't grow from the ground. You feel me? So the poor agricultural practices was largely because, guess what? The Great Depression had happened. And do you think farmers had the privilege of taking a plot of their land or a section of their land and not planting things that year? They were barely making by. They were barely making enough food for themselves, let alone any profit. And most weren't making profit at all. So poor agricultural practices paired with unusually high temps, paired with the extended drought, and finally wind erosion. Wind erosion is simply that soil getting super dry on the top layer, loosening it up, and then high winds push that soil away, and all of that gets kicked up into the sky, kicked up into the air, and moved through some heavy winds. So this primarily devastated a large chunk of our country. Take a look here. These are the areas most impacted. You can see in yellow areas that were damaged by dust storms. In brown, these are the Dust Bowl states, the ones that we always talk about that are impacted to a greater extent. And then the worst section is in red, the area with the most severe dust storm damage. So that would be up in the panhandle of Texas. That would be in the very northwestern corner of Oklahoma, southwestern Kansas, southeastern Colorado, and northeastern New Mexico. These are areas that were ravaged by dust, ravaged by poor farming outcomes, and basically a lot of people had to leave. So when did it happen? During the Dirty 30s. They called them the Dirty 30s because guess what? The Dust Bowl kicked up a bunch of dust, and people were just grimy and gross and had dust like in the creases on under their eyes or in the creases in their fingers, and it was just hard to get clean because of the environmental conditions and also the economic conditions. So if you're going to be dirty and you're going to be dirty every day, my rationale is, what's the point in cleaning yourself every single night? At least like supremely cleaning yourself like every square inch. If you're walking outside, you're going to get dirty all over again, especially if you don't have the resources to maintain that cleanliness. So the effects were that people and animals died. Okay, crops failed, towns wiped out due to people having to relocate, and a lot of others focused on new farming practices with less erosion. So here are the Dust Bowl pictures. I will link this with the video so you guys can see this as well, but yeah, of course, ad placement, there it is. These are a ton of 47 images that really show a lot about kind of the impact the Dust Bowl had on, and the Great Depression had. You can see the dust literally chasing this car down the road. You can see that this girl looks unsure as she packs her belongings in her car and heads for an uncertain future. You can see this family looks very distraught and kind of like just tired of the uncertainty of not knowing what comes next. Lots and lots of really good images, and of course ads, for instance, like multi-use weight loss coverage. Shop now for Flawless Creator Foundation. When I put my foundation on, I always have to use a nice base layer, and I really have to exfoliate because my skin is dry. So if you want to know the great place to go to, Dermablend has got your back. Click the link below. All right, so go ahead and take a look at your image analysis assignment, and I want you to let me know if it's not working, and if it is, I want you to analyze that image, and I want you to complete the last, I apologize, I said one slide earlier, complete the last 2 slides. That's going to be exactly what's going to get you a check mark next to our first day. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you are having a wonderful time. I know that it's crazy. We're coming up on 2 months since we haven't seen each other, but keep up the great work. You guys are doing a wonderful job. As always, if you have any questions, please let me know, and stay away from both dusts and bowls. They make a deadly combination. See ya.